What's up gamers, Duma here. Today I have for you another themed build of a frost snowball throwing warden. This one's pretty cool, pun intended, and surprised me quite a lot. Typically with the previous theme builds, we sacrifice a bit of output for the sake of the fun theme, but this one performed much better than I thought it would, and was great to finally get a MAGICKA based Bladesinger build out that was actually functional. They've typically been exclusively stamina. Let me show you a couple of receipts here from stream playtesting over on Twitch. All of your usual solo stuff like veteran arenas were too easy, and we were able to knock out a no sigil, no death run of Veteran Vateshraan in just under 23 minutes. Our trial boss solo test of St. Lothus was cleared in about 5.5 minutes, which is very good for this type of build. And I was told by stream that this specific world boss and wield was a bit problematic for some people to solo, and the Snowden chopped through it with no problems as long as you're doing the mechanics. So all of your normal solo stuff is too easy. It's not really a veteran dungeon solo build, but it's perfect for everything else one step below that. Then with shuffling a few things around, I ended at about 109k DPS. This was mainly intended to be a fun solo build for people, so I'm going to spend most of the time explaining that version for you, but I'll add a short bonus section at the end for the DPS version setup as well, for things like group veteran dungeons and whatnot that I'll cover quickly for you. And then I'll have some gameplay for you as well at the end so you can see it all in action. The written guide will be up later this weekend as well for you over at the GAMEROOM.tv. Let's go! For this build, you'll need a base class of Warden with the skill lines of Animal Companion, Winter's Embrace, and then we subclass the DK skill line of Ardent Flame. You can make it work with any race of the game, but High Elf is definitely the move here, with Breton being right in line with it. High Elf is going to give you maximum damage, plus a really useful racial sustain passive, a spell recharge, helping you restore both stam and mag throughout fights. The biggest hurdle for the build is sustain by far. A lot of accommodations were made for it, both in the build itself and the playstyle, because of our snowball spammable is incredibly expensive to spam. You can chop up your attribute points however you like between Magicka and health. You can even put them on all mag if you like. I ran the veteran arenas and St. Lothus solo with all 64 points in Magicka using Clockwork Citrus Fillet food, and then I ran the world boss with what you see here using Bear Haunch food to add more stamina sustain and health to accommodate all the shenanigans of the fight. This part is very flexible for you. I would start with putting all the points into mag and kind of feel it out from there. Our build all put together is going to look like this. The first set we're going to use is the crafted set of Tideborn and all light on the body, and then we pair that with the Overland Hexo set on the chest, jewelry, and weapons. Then we add Oaken Soul and top it all off with a monster set with Pen like Krogs. Everything in Divine Trait with max Magicka enchants, Bloodthirsty jewelry, and this multi effect here is increase magical harm enchants. Then we have 2 charged maces. You want 1 enchant to be Absorb Magicka, it's necessary, and the other you want the Flame enchant for the DK combustion passive I'll explain in the next section. Here's your champion points. Take note of Bastion. It's kind of a big deal with this build. Between Hexos and the War Mage's defense script and our Chilling Knife, we're going to be constantly proccing around 21k and shielding, which is going to both slow down the pace of things for you and trivialize a lot of content for you. That 21k is with stats from using Clockwork Citrus Fillet food and the attribute point split shown earlier. Another big one for you is the Reaving Blows CP, which is going to give you tons of passive healing. Your passive shielding and your Reaving Blows CP healing is going to cover the majority of your defense, allowing us to pack in as much damage as we can around it without dedicating an actual standalone heal on our bar. And here are your abilities, which I'll break down for you next. And then we have the Atronach Mundus Clockwork Citrus Fillet food, or the cheaper version, Witch Mother's Potent Brew. And then if you're really struggling with a hard world boss or something, you can use the Bear Haunch food or the cheaper version, Jewels of Misrule. And then we have tripods. I want to emphasize again, balancing sustain is the biggest part of the build. Atro Mundus with all divine traits and these enchants are going to be ideal here. There isn't a lot of room for creative freedom in this area on this specific setup. If you follow what I'm telling you along with the playstyle I'm about to explain next, you shouldn't have any problems though. For our abilities, I'm going to start with our ultimate here of Wild Guardian. This is the Warden Bear Companion that adds really great damage, giving you both single target and RNG AoE damage with stuns, and has an on-use burst ability, along with an execute component to its damage. Sub-Assault, this adds tons of damage for you. You have to use this morph here due to sustain. We can't afford any additional Magicka expenditure, and with the routine use of this stamina ability will greatly increase your overall magic sustain over time. Try to refresh this on time every 6 seconds when you can. Winter's Revenge revenge, just drop this on top of mobs and let it do its thing. It's a great AoE frost damage source that's going to generate lots of chill damage for you and slow enemies in the area. Chilling Knife is our main spammable. We have the scripts of Frost, War Mage's Defense, and then Vulnerability. In short, this throws a snowball at a target, gives you a shield, and increases the damage done to the target by 5%. Arctic Blast, just keep this rolling. This will do frost damage around your body and generate chilled. In emergencies, you can step away from enemies and get a mini burst heal as well, and when you use it, it will also stun nearby enemies after a few seconds. Noxious Breath, this is an important one for the build. This is going to blast poison in front of you, add a dot to everything hit, and debuff them with Major Breach. Quick side note, with this up, you'll be at exactly the pen cap. Your poison status effect procs from this, your beetles, and your flame weapon enchant will also proc the combustion passive, which is going to help with your sustain as well. A big part about this ability is it's your great equalizer of sorts for your sustain. If you're familiar with how it was used on the Dragonplar build, it's the same thing here. Your mag is going to get low from knife spams, then you add in a few breath spams as needed when mag's low, shifting the drain to stam, and then in that time, all the sustain elements from the build are popping off for you and it balances itself out. It's also a decent spammable for any AoE scenario as well. So it's not just lost downtime, you're actually also pumping out pretty decent damage at times. The overall playstyle is straightforward. Keep your sub assault and Arctic Blast timers rolling, drop winters on enemies, get breath out, and spam your knife. Once mag gets low, shift over to a few breath spams and repeat. Also, don't sit on your potions, keep them rolling. The recovery from them is necessary. For the group DPS version, we drop the Ardent Flame line and bring in the Nightblade Assassination line, along with the Relentless Focus skill, not Merciless Resolve. Same concept here as the solo version of using a Stam skill to help balance Magicka sustain. Change the War Mage's defense script to Warrior's Opportunity, change CP around a little bit to what you see here, and then drop the Hexo set for Pillar of Nirn. I parsed with maybe a dozen sets or so from trial sets like Whirl, several dungeon sets, some overland stuff, and Nirn here was the clear winner for ease of access, while also coincidentally giving the highest parse of around 109k DPS. Then we add double daggers, adding in the poison enchant. I assumed the frost enchant here would be ideal, but it was a little less on every parse, but that can also be a bit of PTS shenanigans. Then we use the Thief Mundus, Ghastly Food for maximum DPS, or you can use Clockwork Citrus Fillet or Witch Mothers for a bit more health if you want. Depending on your race, you may need to keep Ghastly for the sustain and just add a few attribute points to health as needed. Fairly standard stuff here for parsing. Use Sub Assault every 6 seconds, Relentless at 4 stacks, keep Winters and Arctic timers rolling, and use Bear Ulti every time it's available. And that's it, gamers. Nice and quick. I'll leave you with a bit of gameplay so you can see it in action. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a wonderful day.